Okay, at this point you are ready to start recording the rest of your podcast. You can go ahead and use the large buttons at the bottom of the screen to help you move through the parts of the podcast that you record. When you speak, it should start tracking your voice either in the selected male or female voice. Those are your two options, and your audio will appear in one of these two tracks. You can feel free to record different parts of your podcast without going in one long recording. So you can stop and start your podcast in between sections. For example, do your introduction right after your music, or maybe there's no music, and then pause it and then transition to the next part, which is, I think, why you chose your two texts, or the summary of your text, and start a new track. So these can be small amounts of recording that you put together. And I think the automatic transitions should be adequate for that. If you have any other concerns about creating the actual voice recording, you can let me know, or you can use the great resource of YouTube. Lots of people put out GarageBand demos, so you could get help with a specific thing that you're worried about, or you can talk to me about it via email or Schoology. Okay, before I finish, I'm going to show you how to export your video. This is the part that I stressed in class on Thursday, so that I can listen to your podcast in Schoology without having to download it. When you're done, you're going to go to File, Share, not File. You can make sure that your current file is saved so that if you ever do need to go back and edit it, you can. But when you want to turn it into a sound file, you go to Share, Send Podcast to iTunes, the first one. It's going to ask you where to put it. You can just choose a playlist in iTunes. That won't matter. It will ask you the artist name, the composer, the album. All of this won't matter when you upload it to Schoology. The part that's important is this part here. Some of your computers may be set to the AAC encoder, but I need you to make sure that you use the MP3 encoder. And for settings, you can just click Spoken Podcast, Spoken Podcast should be fine for what we're doing. All right, when you're done with that, you would go ahead and click Share. And it says you can't do an enhanced podcast essentially, but that's okay. We don't care because we want to use MP3 files. So hit continue, and it should be compressing and exporting your file. So it opens up my iTunes, and you can hear it playing the introduction portion of the podcast that I chose from the GarageBand choices. So if you notice, the name of your podcast will still be what you called it in GarageBand, okay? Then to upload to Schoology, you would just, if you need to know where to find this file, go to your Finder, go to Music, and then I believe in GarageBand, you should see iTunes Media somewhere in here, probably under my name. Yep, there we go. So if you go to Music, and then you click, you'll find your name in among all of your favorite music you have on your computer inside your album, and you should find, this is an old one, so we'll delete this. But you should find this podcast. This is what you want to upload to Schoology. You notice it's an MP3. So the only step you will have left is to go ahead and log into Schoology, find the final assignment, and then upload it. And that's all. Okay, thanks. Have a good weekend.